D. Ever since I touched our chili plant, I've been sneezing and sneezing. So I decided to Google up medication to treat allergy. I found a medication called Cetirizine. I decided to read more about it and I was so confused with words like pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, and histamine.
Whoa, breathe. Just relax. You know what? Come take a seat.
Do you mind explaining Cetirizine to me?
Sure. Now let me start with a really brief introduction to what cetirizine is. So cetirizine, or more commonly sold under the brand name Zyrtex, is a second generation antihistamine drug used to treat allergy symptoms such as your itching eyes, nose, sneezing, or even hives. However, it's important for you to take note that it only treats and does not prevent these allergic reactions.
But
I know what are second generation antihistamine drugs. Now don't get scared. Second generation antihistamine drugs just means they are less likely to cause sedative effects and are proven to be more efficacious as opposed to the first generation. So that was a brief introduction to what cetirizine actually is.
okay, I'm actually really curious, how does it actually work?
Well, cetirizine is an orally active and highly selective antagonist of the histamine H1 receptor. The H1 receptor is basically where the histamine comes and binds to, and when it binds, it's able to produce its effects, such as your itching eyes, nose, sneezing, or even hives. Now, as you remember, I said the word selective antagonist. When I say selective antagonist, I'm referring to it being able to suppress certain reactions. And remember, the H1 receptor that was inhibited by cetirizine, it primarily works on your respiratory smooth muscle cells, your vascular endothelial, your immune cells, and your gastrointestinal tract. In simpler words, just think of cetirizine being able to reverse all the effects caused by histamine. For example, if histamine were to cause an inflammation, cetirizine will reduce the infiltration of inflammatory cells. Remember how you were stressing out about pharmacokinetics just now? Well, I'm going to be explaining to you the pharmacokinetics of cetirizine. Pharmacokinetics simply refers to how the drug moves in our body, namely via absorption, distribution, metabolism, and finally excretion. To explain further, cetirizine is rapidly absorbed in our gastrointestinal tract with a Tmax of approximately 1 hour following oral administration via tablets or syrup in an adult. Tmax just refers to the time a drug or a substance takes to reach its maximum concentration. Moving on, a very interesting fact. Cetirizine has a bioavailability of 70%. Bioavailability refers to the proportion of the drug that enters our circulation and thus it produces an active effect. Coming to distribution, cetirizine is distributed via plasma protein binding since it has a high affinity towards the protein known as albumin. The mean plasma protein binding for cetirizine is 93%. Now I know this is a bit overwhelming, and to help you understand the concept, just think of cetirizine having two options: to either exist as a free drug in our body or a protein-bounded drug. Now bear in mind, cetirizine extremely loves protein, so logically it would choose to exist as a protein-bounded drug, and therefore it binds to albumin. Now moving on to metabolism. Interestingly, cetirizine does not undergo significant metabolism in the liver. Thus, it is safe for consumption for individuals with liver disease or impairment in their cytochrome P450, which is extremely crucial when it comes to metabolizing a drug. Because of this effect, it does not significantly interact with drugs that inhibit or induce the cytochrome P450, such as your antibiotic erythromycin. For the excretion bit now, approximately 50% of the cetirizine is excreted as an unchanged drug. However, since it has to be excreted within 24 hours via the kidney, the risk of toxic effects is greater for individuals who have impaired renal function. And thus, if you have impaired renal function or anything to do with your kidneys, you should tell your doctor before consuming this drug.
Wow, it makes more sense now. It's like any other drugs. What are the doses? Most importantly, what are the side effects?
Well, dosing for cetirizine really depends on your age and medical history. For example, in adults and children 12 years or older, the recommended dose would be 5 or 10 milligrams per day orally, depending on your symptom severity. In children 6 to 11 years old, the recommended dose would be 5 or 10 milligrams per day as a form of syrup, again, depending on your symptom severity. In children 6 months to 5 years old, the recommended dose would be about 2.5 milligrams, which is approximately half a teaspoon in the form of syrup per day. Now, coming to an interesting bit, In patients 6 years or older with renal or hepatic impairment, the recommended dose would be 5 milligrams per day. Coming to your side effects bit. Well, cetirizine is a relatively safe and well-tolerated treatment for allergic reactions. Although uncommon, its primary adverse effects would be drowsiness, fatigue, and dry mouth. Children have common side effects with the adults. However, in particular, children are more likely to experience headaches. Now, coming to a very, very, very important bit of our discussion, cetirizine is contraindicated in patients with a known hypersensitivity to it or to any of its ingredients. With that, we have basically discussed everything about cetirizine.
Oh wow, actually I understand everything with cetirizine right now. Thanks Dee, and go share with my friends.
No problem. Also, don't forget, don't just walk into a pharmacy seeking to buy cetirizine. Always consult a doctor.
Yes, I got it.
Okay, have a good day.